Today, I'm going to show you
5 building tips that will increase your IQ.
and bring some life to your base. First, I'm gonna show you how to easily place loads of custom trees. Look at this mountain. It's kinda boring. Now, I do have some custom trees that are built over here, and I want to place them all over this mountain to really give this place some life. So what I'm gonna do is give myself a structure block, and I'm gonna place it at the very front of this tree. Now what I'm gonna do is mark the parameters of this tree. So setting this into save mode, I know the structure is 5 on the X, 5 on the Z, and I believe it's 10 on the Y. And now I have to adjust the bounding box, which is pretty simple. And I'm just gonna mess with this a little bit until I find exactly where it needs to go. Okay, these look like they're about correct. Now my entire tree is enclosed within this box. I'm gonna give it a name such as Spruce Tree 1. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to this tree and this tree, which are all my custom trees. Now when I come to this mountain, I'm gonna stand on the northwest corner of the structure block. So if I want a tree here, I'm gonna stand right about here. And then I'm gonna type /place, template, and then type in the name, in my case, Spruce Tree 1. So now when I hit enter, it'll place a spruce tree down here in the mountain, and now all I have to do is go all around the place, placing these trees wherever I want. And just like that, we have an entire forest built with custom trees. And as you saw in the time lapse, I didn't actually have to build any of these. I kind of just placed them down wherever I wanted. I did have to do some terraform fixing. For example, it would cut out these blocks and I just have to place them back in. But otherwise, this is a pretty nice looking mountain now with completely custom trees dotting the mountain top. And this just makes this whole area look so much more lush and alive. This will definitely save you guys a lot of time. This next tip is so big brain, it gave my brain wrinkles I didn't even know it had. And that is making a working shower. It's super simple. We're gonna go to the nozzle of my shower head. I'm gonna hit F3 to look at it, and then I'm gonna type /particle, type in water, and then we're gonna use dripping water, hit tab to fill that in. Now if I hit space, there's gonna be some coordinates. I'm gonna hit the up arrow and hit tab to autofill. Now I'm just going to Control A, Control C to copy this whole thing. I've got myself a repeating command block. I'm just gonna come behind this lever. This is what's going to activate my shower here. And I'm going to paste in this command here and turn this on. Let's see how it looks so far. As we can tell, it is kind of off. I want it to be coming out of the nozzle here. It's perfectly in the center of this block. So what we can do is change this to just be 0.5 and we'll see how that looks. And then we just have to tinker with this. That looks about perfect. Check me out. I'm in the shower. One thing we can do to make this even better, I'm gonna control middle mouse button click. That will give me a exact copy of this. I'm gonna change this to bubble. Let's see how this look if I set it to chain and always active. How does this look if I turn this on? And now it really looks like we're spitting out water here. This is pretty sweet. You can finally take a real shower in Minecraft. And it's the same thing with a faucet. Just tinker with the coordinates and have some dripping water. And honestly, this looks really, really good. So get creative and find some ways to use particles to bring some more life into your world. Maybe like a cascading waterfall? Just turn this off. I don't want to be too wasteful. And by the way, I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Help me out and hit subscribe and I'll give you some more epic Minecraft content. Like this video where I built a portable house. My next 2 tips go back to back, and that is to build in an area that inspires you. Oh, flip. For example, take a look at my work in progress base. This is from my 100 day series. I built on an island, which gives me limited space, which means I have to plan out my base very creatively to fit everything I want to fit. And this coincides with the other tip, which is to give a story to your base. Giving a story to your base will really help you be creative and add some life to your base. For example, this crystal farm thing that I have here. The story behind this is that there is a rare overworld crystal formation, and the locals are mining these crystals and shipping them off to sell them. So we have this dock that is connected where ships will come and go, and they will be trading and selling these crystals. I also want to build a bridge here where I'll have some carts going back and forth where they're carrying the crystals that they mined and shipping them off to other people in the world. So giving a story to your base will help you fill up your base with little trinkets like this. I wouldn't have put this in otherwise unless I added a story, and it really adds to the overall feeling of this area. So don't be afraid to build in an area that inspires you, and also trying to give a story to your base. That will really help a lot. And finally, animated buildings will make your builds absolutely amazing. For example, here I have a water wheel rotating in the water. It's not exactly the best animation ever, but you definitely can tell what's going on here, and it brings so much life to this entire building. In order to do something like this, you kind of have to build the frames in advance, and right over here, this is exactly what I have. I have the base water wheel, and then I have the water wheel where it is rotated. And here, this is just basically an empty water wheel because the sizes are different, and so I have to delete everything and then immediately place this one back in to get that smooth animation. And here what I have are the frames that I built for the flag you see off in the distance. Each frame is a different structure, and then under the ground I just have a command block clock that switches between each of these frames. So whenever I hit this button, my flag will start animating and it looks super cool. That's actually a really cool shot. There's so many possibilities that you can do with animated buildings, like animated pixel art. That's something I want to experiment with in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And because it's a pretty decent challenge, it's not too difficult, but it does take some effort. My guy, I am literally recording. What was I saying? Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, but it's definitely worth it. Doing something like this will increase your IQ by like 500 times. But let's be real though, 500 times 0 is still 0. With that being said, check out this starter house tutorial. It's gorgeous and it stores over 44,000 items.